Hello, everybody. I just wanted to tell you my story about how I ended up having to leave my job and get on disability. Okay, so in 2019, let's go back to 2016. I'm chilling, relaxing on the MTA, on my way to go get my youngest son from school. And I'm on the bus. The bus is at the light, and so I'm standing up waiting for the bus to get to the stop so that I can get off and go up the block to get to my son. This is around 3 something in the afternoon. But the bus driver jerked off the bus stop. I mean the light to get to the bus stop. And I had my phone in my hand because I was just contacting my son to let him know that I'm on my way up to get him. So I couldn't grab the pole like I wanted to. And in the process of me not being able to grab the pole, I fell. I went up in the air and I came straight down on the metal steps towards the back of the bus. I'm in cruciating pain, but you know how we can be. The embarrassment hits more than the pain at the first. So I gets up, tries to get up real quick, and I get off the bus. The bus driver didn't ask me if I was okay, didn't ask me if I needed any assistance. And me having my pride at the time, I just get off the bus. I go and take 3 steps. The bus already done pulled off. I can't move no more. My back pretty much gave out on me. I'm in pain. But I still got to sit there and wait for my son to get out of school. And I wasn't going to call an ambulance and my son not with me. And he's still on his way down the street from the school. So I waited for him to get there. Once my son got there, I called the ambulance, went to the hospital. And he sat there with me, my son. And they did all these tests and stuff. And they was like, we could tell that your back is spasming and that you have some type of injury to your back, but the scan is not saying that you have any torn ligaments or issues with your spine or anything like that. So we're gonna give you some pain medicine, some muscle relaxer to get the spasms under control, and we're gonna get you a heat pad because they said you want the heat or the cold pad. I was like, I'll take the heat pad. So I'm in the hospital. I'm laying on the bed in cruciating pain. I can't get up, but it's more painful for me to lay down anyway. So finally, they sent us home. They sent us home in a cab, and I was able to get home with my son. I go and lay in the bed, go to sleep. About a week later, I get set up for physical therapy. Okay, I go in there. I can't even do anything in physical therapy. That's how much bad and how much of a damage my back is. I couldn't do anything for physical therapy. They strapped me to the strap that like a harness that helps you get on the treadmill and be able to walk. But you're not walking. The treadmill is doing it, and then the harness is helping you stay on top so that you won't fall over or that if it becomes problems, then you don't have to worry about it too much. I'll be sitting in a chair at physical therapy, and the physical therapist is massaging my back, but my back is spasming up even worse. They had to take this stimulation thing and rub it on my back to try to get my back to stop being in pain. Then they did the stretch machine where they tried to stretch my back out. That most definitely didn't work. So I stopped going to physical therapy because there was no point in it because my back wasn't doing any better. So I ended up going to chiropractor, and they adjusted my back and everything was doing okay. So I'm like, okay, I feel comfortable enough to go back to doing what I gotta do. So I go to my boyfriend's house. We hanging out, chilling. His studio, because he's into music, is in the basement. Just when my back just start getting to okay status that I can walk a little bit without being in pain, I literally slip up in the air and go down his basement steps on my back. Now I'm in pain all over again with the back because I done fell down his steps, his basement steps. Then I'm limping, I'm barely walking. So I had my doctors prescribed me with some medicine that I had to take every single day for spasms and back pain, just for me to be able to walk from point A to point B. So I took the medicine, so I was able to go home. In the process of me going home, the same day, it was like ice outside because was really, really cold and it had rained the day before. So I was up near Emerson Village area, so there was a patches of ice on the ground. There was no way you can get around it. So I tried to walk on the grass, and then I ended up start sliding. Then I went up in the air onto my back, butt bone, on that. Slid down a little bit, was able to grab the pole, and then literally crawl into my apartment. Because where I lived at, there was a little slight hill. Okay. I'm sitting there like, what in the world is going on here? So I had the ambulance come again. They took me to the hospital. The doctor prescribed some lidocaine for my back and some other stuff that I had to use. So I'm like, okay, cool. The medicine is working. I'm able to move around a little bit. I'm able to cook, clean, do stuff for my children, stuff like that. So I started working for Horseshoe in 2019, and everything was okay. The medication that they had me on was pretty good, so I was able to at least move around as long as I had a break here and there. I was good. So I get to work, everything good. I remind you, I'm working in banquet, so all my works are in the cold department, like literally the freezer, where I had to cut up fruits and vegetables. I had to make sure that the banquets was taken care of, decorate the plates and the fruits and stuff around the plates. If they wanted some shrimp or appetizers, I had to make sure that was good. And then there was times where we had to be on the floor where we was working. We was pretty much cooking for the staff that was out on the grounds at Horseshoe Casino, right? So we in there and everything is cool. I'm cooking. So I come up with this nice little dish that I used to like making for myself. And since I'm on the floor, I could put the meal of the day or the sandwich of the day that I choose to make. So I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try this and see how they like it. So I made the sandwich. All of a sudden, the head director, female of Horseshoe Casino, was personally asking where was I at when I was off and how could they get the sandwich. But nobody else knew how to make the sandwich. Plus, I made the homemade sauce. I called the sauce Mad Henry. So they would call me up on my day off and ask me how do I make it, and I would try to explain it to them, but because it was my own personal recipe, I didn't want nobody just taking credit for my stuff. So I said, next time I come in, I'll make it a special again. I was getting paid just to make the sauce so that people could take home and put it on their own stuff. Yeah, on the side. But there was a lot of stuff in the back of the Horseshoe Casino that I really didn't know, as being on the front side playing slots, that now I know that I don't do a lot of stuff when I'm at the casino. So that'll be another story. So tune in for my next episode. But So I'm in the back cooking. Everything's good. I go to sit down for my lunch break. My back starts spasming like ain't no tomorrow. I can't get out the chair to get back to my shift. I'm telling my boss and my supervisor, like, look, I literally cannot move. They're like, you going to go back to your shift? I said, I can't move. Like, what you mean you can't move? My back done locked up and spazzed up on me. I cannot move at all. Like, but you want us to call an ambulance? Like, you're gonna have to call an ambulance because I can't move. So they call an ambulance. I get to the hospital. They wanted to give me a shot. Nah. So I took the pill, the muscle relaxer pill, and it worked pretty well for a moment. So they sent me home after doing a bunch of tests and said that they couldn't see nothing damaging on the X-ray, but they knew that my back was spasming really bad. So then I couldn't work no more. So I'm sitting up here like, what the heck am I gonna do? What am I gonna do about bills? Because at this time, I'm still living in an apartment that I'm literally paying $1,400 for a 3-bedroom apartment. And I'm not getting disability. My son was getting disability. My mother was getting disability. My other son was getting child support. And then I was working. So that's how we was able to cover the bills. Even with gas and electric, we was doing budget billing and energy assistance. So we kind of had that managed. Food stamps, we was able to get a few $100s in food stamps. So we was able to have some food in the house. Everything was going cool. But once I lost the job, I'm like, okay, how in the world am I going to deal with this? And then my mother, God rest her soul, who passed away last year, she dipped out on me. So it was only my son's disability check, and he was about to turn 18. And then I had lost my job, so I was getting just social services and TCA because I couldn't work for nothing. The doctor wrote a slip making sure that they knew that I couldn't work because of my spasms, because of my health. So I turned around and was like, okay, God had plans that, I never even thought about that it was coming. I had applied for public housing years ago. Years ago. Nothing ever came up about it. So I decided to go down to housing. I was like, look, I'm about to be homeless with me and my children. I had my name on the list for a very, very long time. I just want to know where my name on the list at, because I can't afford to be where I'm at with me dealing with me losing my job, my mother bouncing out, and she wasn't even on lease, so she didn't have to pay nothing. And my son, he's turning 18, and they're going to turn a check over to him. So they was like, let me check in the system. They go in the system like, man, we've been trying to call you for the last 2 weeks, or trying to send you a letter for the last 2 weeks to let you know to come in for your interview. We was just about to take your name off the list. I said, what you mean take my name off the list? Because we couldn't reach you. I said, okay. So then, this was on a Monday. He said, let me tell you something. Come down here Thursday, and then we can do all your paperwork, your update stuff, your telephone number, your just email, all that. And then we can let you know what's going on. And we'll get in contact with you from the letter up from your new place, letting you know when it's time for you to move and stuff like that. I said, okay, cool. So I take this letter that HUD gives me stating that they are in the process of moving me into a public housing as soon as one come available. So I take the letter to the management office and I give it to the secretary. She makes a copy of it. We all agree that I'm moving out the next month because housing had already found a 3-bedroom place for me to move to. Okay, cool. Before I was able to move, the apartment complex comes to a new management. Now, the old management that I had the agreement with and the secretary I had the agreement with no longer works there. So they're under the assumption that I'm just not paying my rent. And nobody could find them because when they became new management, remind you, we had an office on grounds, right? But no one was ever coming to the office when they turned over. We didn't even know that they became new managements until 2 months later when they were sending us to court about money, saying that we owed them money. But we was always able to take the checks, the money orders to the office to pay our rent. At this time, we didn't have to go online or doing that other stuff. So we sitting there like, okay, where's these people at? What's going on? So finally, the old secretary reaches out to us because I guess she got her job back working with the new management as the secretary. And she let us know that they are no longer the management anymore, that we are under new management. So I'm like, okay, so where the heck are we supposed to put our money at? They tell me, well, you got to go to this site and send the money here. And I'm like, so you wait now to tell us this after y'all ain't saying nothing to us for 2 whole months. So I move out, because that's what I was supposed to do anyway. So I move out and I move into public housing. Everything's okay. But then like 3 months in, 16 kids from Gilmore Homes decide to want to try to jump my 2 sons and attack them. And so I had to get a transfer. I get transferred all the way out to Donald Heights. Donald Heights, great. But there's only one transportation that goes up, one transportation that goes down. And all my doctor's appointments was in the city. And then because my health was deteriorating from me getting injured with the MTA and the black ice and the steps and stuff like that, I ended up not being able to move very well. So the bus stop was a little far away. And I decided that I needed to put in a referral for me to move somewhere that had one level. So they finally found me a place with one level, which was Latrobe Homes. Everything was all good. 2-bedroom, one level. But I needed a scooter. And I couldn't get my scooter in there because the apartment was so small. And they didn't even have a ramp. I'm like, how you going to have a one level for disability and you have no ramp at all? They had one side had 1 step and one side had 3 steps. So the people that was doing the scooters would not even give me my scooter. So I'm sitting up there like, oh. Now I have to find a place through housing that has 2 bedrooms with a ramp or an elevator. So God was watching again, because when they opened up about allowing you to go online for the Section 8 voucher, I applied for me and my son. At this time, my oldest son, he's 19, he's out on his own, he's doing his own thing. I finally get accepted for the Section 8 voucher 3 months after my mother and my stepfather passes away. My oldest son is still out on his own, so now it's just me and my son. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go and look around, find some places. I finally found a place to move to that has everything, and now the insurance company is getting bogarted by a 24-hour dependable, because they're saying now they want to raise the price on the scooter that I was supposed to already have. And the insurance company is not willing to pay the extra fee for my scooter. So now I'm stuck with the fact that I can't now get around as much as I used to. And the scooter that I'm supposed to have, that I've been approved for, that they said that my apartment is approved for, now I'm waiting for the insurance and the company to come to some understanding. And then I have to get my doctor to to tell them that I am permanent disabled and that I really do need my scooter. So that's just the more of my story for right now. But Want to hear any more contents? Put a like, subscribe. Thank you.